Wankers, episode 4.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
Back to you with DJ Shy Fellow and MC Weakling.
Which
I-
which is which? I don't remember.
I think, wait, no, you're,
I think you're. Wait, was it MC Weakling and DJ? It was MC Weakling and DJ Shy Fellow.
yeah, you're DJ Shy Fellow.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm MC
yeah.
Weakling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I have a hypothetical for you here on the pod, right?
Okay.
This is an event that happened in my life recently, and afterwards, off in college, and, afterwards I was like, fuck, like, that sucks. And then I thought, this is going to be a crazy story on the pod, though, and then I was okay with it, okay?
Okay.
So what would you guys do, right? If you were, hanging out with this guy, at a function, right? Who you had told, like, a week and some change ago that, like, you kind of have a crush on him, right? And he's been hanging out with you a bunch since then. And, you wouldn't you go to smoke weed in his car, right? Interruption in the function. This is something that happened to someone who wasn't me and was 21 and in Illinois, okay? But the point is that, you go to smoke weed in his car, and you do, and the whole time he's talking about this one fucking My Chemical Romance song, right?
Okay.
And he's talking about why he thinks it's the best, right? And he's talking about it for so long that you're both done smoking, and he's still talking about it, and so you lean him to just give him a little kiss to interrupt him. And what would you do, right? If he kissed you back and then just started talking about My Chemical Romance again and never mentioned it?
Never mentioned the kiss.
Yeah.
That's tough because podcast fans, chain wankers out there, the wankers. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I would be that guy.
Yeah.
I would never be.
Isaac would be that guy.
Yeah, I've got no
true.
game, right?
Yeah.
And so if I'm ever even remotely in a situation, I'm not gonna be the one initiating anything. And so if that were to happen, it would probably be me talking about something like I'm like expelling the masses of Hollow Knight lore that I'm aware of, and then they kiss me, and then I'm like, and then I go back to my Hollow Knight lore.
Yeah, that's
And I think like when I'm doing, how do we get to Culver's again? I don't remember. I think it's this. No, wait. I take that. I go down to and you take down to like.
Okay. That is a nice thought, right? But the point is, I'm asking you this question not for advice, but just as a hypothetical, because I won't really say what happened after that, but basically there's a guy out there now who has 2 fucking $350 tickets to see My Chemical Romance in August, and he no longer has someone who wants to see it with him, or someone who's willing to pay him money for one of the tickets. So,
Wait, so he's got 2 tickets, and one of the tickets is free. Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, and one of the tickets is for me, and I just like dragged my feet on like ever paying him, and then now I'm like I never want to pay him because I don't want to go see that concert with him. So, yeah.
And how much is one of the tickets?
And one of them is $350.
Dude, I wouldn't pay for that if I was in love with this person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a stickler about like going to see. Oh wait, we are. Okay, so then I think keep going. I'm gonna have to like bleep out the street names just in case.
Why?
Because we have a lot of fans.
Oh yeah,
they might
international.
Some of them are
yeah,
crazy.
International.
I don't want an airstrike coming to my favorite like corner gas station.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
but I'm a stickler about going to see movies because they're too expensive. Even if I really liked this person, I would not spend.
Let me tell you about seeing movies, okay? Because I saw a movie yesterday, right?
Okay.
I saw a movie yesterday, and gang I trust, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Are those like bleep noises?
Yeah. So we saw Wicked, right? And it just on a whim, all of us were like, yeah, sure, I'll do that, and it was, first of all, more expensive than we thought because we accidentally got it for a 3D time slot, and so we had to watch it in 3D. And then also, that movie fucking pissed me off, okay? That movie pissed me off, and it's for some may say this is a silly reason, but I think that if you watch this movie with your fourth, third, or even second eyes fucking open the whole time, you'll fucking understand what I'm saying about the subtext in this film, right? Because this film is oozing with subtext. The two main characters are like fucking in gay love with each other, you know? And it's like just in every fucking action, like the overall plot of the film and like what they do together, and then like their individual fucking mannerisms and actions as well throughout the whole movie, right? But it's only ever left in the subtext, and that one kind of pisses me off, you know? That pissed me off, right? Because in actually the original book of Wicked, it is, you know, in the open. They confess the feelings for each other, but in both the Broadway and Hollywood adaptations of the story, it's just completely like we're just gonna like have like kind of hint at it, but like it's gonna, you know, it's never gonna fucking happen, you know. And I'm like, that I don't know, that just kind of pissed me off because I'm like, it's, you know, 2024, man. Like Brokeback Mountain released in fucking 2005, and like they were gay as fuck in that movie. So why can't you like get over it and make the Green Witch gay too, you know?
True. That's I don't know what Wicked's about, and I've never seen it, but I do have some of my friends were, texting the group chat. They were like, "Guys, we should see Wicked," or something. I don't really know, and I did not respond because
You
I don't
don't fuck
remember.
with movies.
Well, yeah, I don't fuck with movies,
Yeah.
and also it was if other people are going, maybe I will.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Wait, they're closed. Okay, shit. Okay, where else?
Shit.
Where else sells ice cream?
I was gonna say McDonald's, but they actually don't.
They don't? What do you mean they don't? McDonald's
It's
doesn't sell ice
never.
cream?
Have you ever been to a McDonald's except beyond like when you were like 7 years old, right?
Where
Have
the
you
ice
ever
cream
been
machine's
where
not
the
broken?
yeah, right?
I've never been to a McDonald's and had the ice cream machine be broken. So like I get I know that it's common because it's like a meme, but
Yeah.
I've never like personally experienced the shattered remains of what once was the McDonald's
I see.
ice cream machine. Like the one downtown, I feel like is always.
Do you think is open?
I mean, that's like a family. That's not like a chain, right? That's
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
they're. I feel like any kind of most independently run establishments are probably going to be closed.
Okay, okay.
But do you want to try and run McDonald's? Because I'm willing to bet that their
Sure.
ice cream machine is running and they've got.
I'll run McDonald's. I'll run
Okay.
McDonald's, and if they don't, actually, I think either way, we also get a 20-piece nuggets,
Sure, yeah.
right?
I'm not terribly hungry right
'Cause,
now.
dude, in like 45 days, when Trump becomes, you know, effective president, not just president-elect, but actually, you know, gets the fucking position, his plan for the FDA is to completely cut their budget and repeal a lot of the laws and regulations around processed food. And then I don't want to eat chicken nuggets after that because it's going to be like legal for them to put rat poison in it.
Oh, that's
You know?
okay. Yeah,
Like,
you gotta
yeah.
savor it while you can.
Yeah, I mean, not like
Yes.
literally. I don't think.
But
I
it,
think
you know,
like
it's-
putting rat poison in would be bad. But I feel like you can like poison a rat and then put the rat in. You know, I'm sure there's like a loophole, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
of course, of course.
yeah. So yeah,
I am an FDA
yeah.
agent or whatever. I don't
Dude,
know.
we are FDA fans. Okay.
Yeah,
We support the Food and Drug Administration. All right. What I'll say about them is that like every corporate good should be regulated, right? But
For sure.
also when they shut down the fucking grimy, like greasy restaurant because it's like, oh, you have like cockroaches or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but they also have like the fucking greasiest fucking yummy oily fries of any fucking establishment ever, you know?
I
And
mean,
it's like, you know,
it's like
Like,
I feel like this kind of applies to most government bodies. You know, it's like in theory only good can really come out of this, but then in practice there are like always going to be some pros and cons that you got to weigh against
yeah,
one another. You know,
yeah.
like
I mean,
it's great that I'm not eating rat poison McDonald's chicken nuggets,
Yeah.
but then also I want my
I guess
greasy oily fries.
it is bad technically, even for like a little family restaurant to like have all those things because they do like make people sick. But like when it's my favorite restaurant and I'm like 18 years old, so I basically can never get sick from anything.
True.
Like it's so goated, that restaurant, and then they fucking close it. He's like, some people can't handle the fucking quality, you know?
This
Because
is like
huh?
this is like when in high school when goddamn Michelle Obama made all the sodas diet and bad
Yes,
and
dude.
gross, dude.
Oh my god. That was like second worst thing the Obamas have done. First was drone strikes.
Honestly, I'd say they're like tied.
Yeah,
I really don't like diet sodas.
dude, yeah. And they are worse for you than sodas with sugar. Okay?
I don't know enough about that to agree or disagree.
If you're like literally diabetic or like on chemo or something, then diet sodas are kind of goated. But if you're like of a relatively normal like metabolism.
For context, audio listeners and video listeners, there was a cut there because my phone temperature got too hot because it's resting on the car heater because it's cold out, and it overheated and turned off.
Okay, so my next topic that I want to discuss this episode, right, is that like a day or two ago, you texted me something that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'd like you to explain, like show your work here, right?
Yeah.
You texted me, I feel like if you got a vasectomy, you would be able to reach a state of divine omniscience.
Yeah, you said you disagree. I'm gonna die on that hill. I think
Okay, but explain why.
I mean, honestly, if I had to put it to something, it's really more just it's a feeling. But it's kind of like it's like it's like you might get it, and you're thinking, okay, this is maybe maybe it's a con. Maybe I don't want this. But then it's like but you could also it's like Kung Fu Panda 1, right? Kung Fu Panda 1. You've got Tai Lung he's all like held back. He's imprisoned and he's like all chained up and he can't escape or whatever. Yeah. And then you've got like a little feather, and the feather floats down.
Yeah,
and lands
that's
on
my
him.
feather you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you're chained down to the mortal mind, and then but you could reach like this deistic level of thought from getting a vasectomy. I don't know.
Yeah, I only disagree with that because I believe that sort of like slightly debaucherous like things are kind of how you can most get in touch with the divine, you know? Like I'm just saying, I feel like the fucking like except for like meditating on it, like dude, if you do some like divine meditations, that can do it, but like in terms of like normal everyday actions, I feel like fucking and getting drunk are the best ways to fucking get closer to heaven, you know?
I think I think it's the opposite. Here, wait. First, let me brief pause for when we order. What do you want?
Fuck, what do you think? Hold on. You want to tell the pod about your shelter?
I live in the woods now. I'm a man of the woods. I'm just like a disembodied head right now. So I live in the woods. At my college, at my place of schooling, our like the city has an arboretum, and it's like a small city. It's very rural, and so it's got like a bunch of fields and woods. It's like it's in the Midwest.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That's not where that's not it.
St. Louis, Missouri.
No, is Missouri in the Midwest? Does that count?
Yeah, I mean it's in like half of it's. Well, St. Louis is on the border of Missouri and Illinois, and like a third of it or so is in Illinois.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. It's in Ohio. Ohio is all like fields and plains and farms.
Dude, okay? Everyone knows where it is.
And
literally everyone.
I'm gonna die now.
They're gonna kill you. They're gonna fucking come for you. Okay.
But So we've got an arboretum, right? And I went into the arboretum initially, like, and I was like, oh, this is a cool spot. And it was really mostly in the beginning part of the year when it was still warm out that I was kind of hanging out there.
Arboretum?
Arboretum.
Is there a difference between that and like a forest preserve?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's basically a forest preserve, kind of. It's just like a little smaller. It's got like a pond and trees. It's got like a very like a creek-ish. It's got like a little stream going. But it's so I used to hang out in the arb when earlier in the year when it was hot out and I needed the great shadows of the trees, the great shade. And so I went into the arb and I was like, okay, I'm spending time here. This fella's gonna live here. And so I live in the woods now, and I made my shelter. And audio listeners, on screen right now, there's a flashing photo of. Actually, you know what? It's not flashing. There's a photo of my house in the woods, my spot in the woods.
Have you ever actually put the photo in?
I'm gonna put the photo in. I'm gonna edit this shit. Okay, just you wait. You said the same thing for episode 2. We were like, he's not gonna. I would say like audio listeners, there's a photo on screen of the Reddit post we're reading, and
Yeah.
you're like, he's not gonna put it on. And guess who put it on? This guy. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways,
I wouldn't know because I can never watch my own work.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
I never watch the final product. I only do it. I like skim through it to find the spots that I need to edit, and that's it. Yeah, but I live in the woods now, so it's pretty neat. You can see in the photo, I've got my my shelter, and in it there is a raised section of dirt with a rock
With
on
a rock
one
for a
end.
pillow. Yeah,
a rock for a pillow. You've got my fire pit.
You got a stream, you know.
You've got the stream, and around the hut, there's like a raised wall of dirt to try and keep the water level of the stream from overtaking my hut floor when it rains and the water level kind of goes up. Yeah, I'm balling out in nature, and I think more people need to buy a $19 hatchet from like your local hardware store and go in the woods and make a shelter.
Have you considered at all like becoming like a park ranger after college or something?
No, not really, but I have considered, what's the one book? Is it called Into the Wild? It's the guy that like was smart or something, and then he lives in the wilderness and he died from like a mushroom or something.
Oh, he wasn't smart. He was really dumb and he didn't know anything about the wilderness.
I thought he was like academically smart, and that's why everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's."
I mean, that like Ted Kaczynski did that.
Yeah, I was about to say
he didn't die. He didn't die because he was smart, though. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like if you go out in the woods, you're like, yes, I want to live out in the woods, and then you don't know anything about the woods, and you die because you eat the wrong thing, or you just starve to death after like 2 months. Like you're kind of dumb, actually.
Well, I mean, I feel like what it probably was. When I read this in like 7th grade and remember nothing of it, so I'm speaking. This is pure speculation, but what I would imagine it was he was like academically smart and given this false sense of like, yeah, I could survive in the woods, I could live in the woods, and then Icarus flew too close to the sun.
There's that same kind of theme in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, actually.
Oh, that's real. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't finished the book. I read most of it and then I never finished it. I loved it, but then I, got caught up in other grinding that I had to do and never ended up finishing
You have got to finish it, dude.
I've got to finish it. But I feel like at this point I would have to just restart from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like with I watched like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure up until like the I don't remember what part it was.
Release.
Yeah, it was the half-season release of like part 6 or something maybe.
Yeah.
And then they released the next part, and I was like, actually, more because I still haven't watched the second part of that. But more accurately, like it's the same thing with Attack on Titan. You got like the season 4 or something where they released the first half, and I watched up until that, and I finished that, and I was like, damn, this shit's good. I can't wait until the next half of the season gets released. And then I watched it, and then it came out, and I was like, okay, well now I got to watch the whole thing from start to finish to really like get You know.
I think it's worth restarting depending on the version you were reading. I think if you were reading anything other than the original like 1818 version, then it's kind of worth restarting because I think that one is the best one. Because there's the like 1818 version, and then that one was released like under a pen name, right? And then there's like a 1820 version or something that's like a bit more heavily edited. And then there's the 1836 version, which is like very heavily edited, and it's like after her husband died and shit. So she's just like, it's more like, um, it's definitely a more like dark worldview that she kind of promotes. Like also a lot of the kind of more like for their time progressive ideas that she espoused in the original version are in that. So you know it's worth rereading for like the better themes. You know the more appealing I guess message of the original edition. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what version I have. I just ordered a copy of it on Amazon.
You you ever hear about So sorry, tell me about your version, but
I mean, I have nothing more to say about it. It's just,
oh okay.
you know,
You ever hear about what was going on like climate wise the year Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein?
no.
The year that she was writing Frankenstein, there was like, and first of all, she wrote it in one season, in just one summer, right? She wrote it uh during a year when there was like an volcanic eruption in Indonesia, and it produced a cloud of ash that fucking floated over the whole continent of Europe for like fucking 6 months. And so the whole summer, like there was no summer because the light couldn't come out from behind the fucking giant cloud of ash. And
And
it
that
was
like
like
inspired her to
it was
write.
yeah, it was like an unusually like dark and cold fucking summer.
Um, okay. I think this would be a good Halloween costume, right?
Hmm.
Um, so you cover you go okay. So the costume is you're like soaking wet, right? And
Hmm.
you're covered in like some like I don't know. It could be water. You're covered in water, right? And then you're also holding an empty or well, like half full with water, uh, like thing of gasoline, like a one of those portable gasoline things, right?
Hmm.
And you're walking around and then you offer people a light. You also have like a you also have a lighter, and
No,
you're like, hey, you guys need a light?
no, I think
It's
you should
covered in gasoline.
ask them for a light. I think it's funny if you ask them for a
An
light.
unlit cigarette, presumably drenched in gasoline, walking around
Yeah, it's
asking
also
people.
the cigarette. It's also wet. Yeah.
You gotta dip it in the gasoline to get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it adds the fumes add good flavor.
Hmm.
Do you like the smell of gasoline?
It's fine. I don't know.
I fuck with it.
I don't really fuck with it, but it's like okay.
I get a whiff of it every time I'm filling up.
Dude, the broken spoon is like not working at this point.
It's almost like it's not a spoon anymore.
It like can't scoop anything.
It's because it's broken.
Fuck.
How much left do you have? Okay, well that's just kind of hard to scoop regardless. The cup is like pretty much empty. Audio listeners, by the way.
Audio listeners, I love you.
Audio listeners, Spencer's eating McDonald's hot fudge sundae, and it's almost completely empty.
Yeah.
And I mean, how much more are you really gonna get out of that? Beating a dead horse.
We can talk about something for the podcast.
Okay. What have we got? What do we got?
You hear that Trump's attorney general pick fucking like stole these people's dog in New Orleans in like 2007.
What?
And then like yeah, and then like got in an argument with them about it.
No, no.
Yeah, it was like this family was like lived in New Orleans and was displaced by Hurricane Katrina and they left their dog behind and I'm getting a call here.
We're
Okay.
back. The police were calling about
Yeah. It was,
the investigation we're doing.
Okay, so basically it was this family, you know, they had like leave New Orleans because there's a fucking hurricane, and like they left their dog behind because you can't go like with your stuff when it's like such a big thing like that, and it's like a major evacuation like immediately, you know. So they left their dog behind, and then their dog got fucking picked up by like animal control and put in the pound, and the woman who would you know like 15 years later or something, be Trump's attorney general pick. She like adopted their dog from the pound, and then they and it was also interesting the same day, or I think the day after, her dog of the same breed died of cancer. She just like goes to the pound and gets a new dog of the same breed, right?
That's
And then the fucking family who originally owned the dog, like somehow contacted her and they were like, "Yo, you have our dog. Can we like have him back?" And she was like, "No." And like it got to be like a legal battle for them to get the fucking dog back. And like they settled out of court for her to give the dog back and like also pay for all of its like medical expenses and food and stuff and be able to visit. And she like paid for like 8 months and then stopped completely. And then she adopted another dog of the same breed.
that's like people that like they're not over their ex, and so they
Yeah.
date new people. It's just like they look the
But
exact
but it's a
same.
dog.
Yeah, but it is a dog. That reminds me of a Reddit story that I saw one time somewhere of a dude whose like wife or something had a cat that was really like violent and kept scratching everybody, and
Yeah.
so he like exchanged the cat, like he like, or maybe the cat ran away or something, and then he went out and like got another cat of the same breed and brought it back, and the girlfriend didn't know that it was a different cat, and then thus like from then on was like just thought that the cat was like better behaved and that it loved her more or something.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's really odd.
yeah, it is.
I I think cocaine is coming back a little. I think people are starting to be like kind of fine with it again. You see the girls doing cocaine on Twitter.
No, I don't use Twitter.
Oh,
I
they
hate
just,
Twitter. It's
I mean,
horrible.
me neither,
It's
but
so
like just,
unpleasant.
I heard about it from osmosis,
Oh yeah.
from the
Okay.
culture.
Yeah. Came
Yeah.
around through the
These girls
grapevine.
just posted a picture of them just like doing cocaine on Twitter. And it started like a cultural conversation around like, is this bad? Could this be promoted or is this like normal? Because like, yeah, people do cocaine, whatever. Oh, you know what I think is actually having a crazy comeback right now though?
What?
Cigarettes.
That's
I think
true.
people have seen that vaping is like fucking lame and gay and bad for you, and they're like, well, might as well do the one that makes me look cool, right? So I think many people are now like pro cigarette and anti vape in our generation.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
a lot. I think a lot of people. I feel like there's two kind of paths to it. What from at least for most of the people that I know that uh, use nicotine products, they just like do both, and they usually either have a
yeah,
preference based on what they personally have, but if it's
yeah,
handed to them, they'll do either. But I think I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are there are a lot more people smoking cigarettes than before, but or than like the not than before when cigarettes were actually like a thing. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I'll say it.
not a huge fan of, huh?
I mean, like,
Nicotine products having any kind of popularity?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
it's like it's do what you want, but also carcinogens are not
yeah,
super great. Um, like weed is one thing. At least you're at least you're getting high, and it's also not like probably going to give you lung cancer.
yeah, because you're smoking it less,
Yeah,
generally. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers will get bronchitis because they're like smoking 4 times a day every day, but that's not really inherent to weed. That's like
that's just like
that's
if you
so yeah,
smoke
that's
anything.
like select weirdos, whereas with cigarettes, it's like the nature of it makes you very liable to smoke a bunch of it every day. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think that it's also a lot of the like cigarette manufacturers, and probably even more so given the less strict regulations on it. I think with like selling it in gas stations and stuff.
yeah,
The vape making companies it's very like
Oh,
predatory.
yeah, no.
And it's super predatory towards kids.
Okay.
Like particularly with vape products.
Here's the thing. The thing with cigarettes and vapes is that cigarettes, we are taking the natural world and we are kind of processing it into something that harms us, right? And it's really fun and it's from the natural world, but it still like harms you because you fucking do it too much, right? And then with vaping, it was created by dark alchemists in a dungeon who fucking extruded the soul out of natural herbs and fucking bottled it up, you know? And they used their alchemical practices to craft something evil, you know? And that's what vapes are. You know what the most dark alchemical thing is? Zins.
Have you had Zins before?
Oh,
Are they evil?
they're evil, dude.
They're evil.
You can feel the evil from the very moment that you
They
have
make you
one,
a bad
know?
person.
Yeah.
You have one in your mouth and it's like it's like fuck, what's it called?
It's like when fucking Frodo puts on the ring too much, bro. You
yeah.
know?
It's like what is it? What is it? It's the story where the guy takes the potion and starts killing people. But what is it? What is it? What is it?
Minecraft?
No, it's um uh wait. It's the one that had the VeggieTales like knockoff version of this story called Mr. Jig or Dr. Jiggle and Mr. Sly or something. Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. It's like that. You put a Zin in your mouth and you start
The guy
murdering
takes
people.
the potion and he
Isn't-
starts killing
I don't know what it is. I
people.
had it loosely explained to me. Isn't that what it is?
The guy takes the potion and he starts killing people?
Isn't that what it is? He takes a potion and then he turns into another dude, and he's like, "Yeah, I get to murder people now."
I guess.
I don't know what the story is.
I've never seen it either, but I wouldn't describe it as a guy takes a potion and starts killing people. What the fuck?
How do we get onto Zins?
I don't know. Aura.
True.
I hate that aura has been like misappropriated by fucking like people who use Instagram too much, you know?
I agree.
Because I feel like it's a good term, but it's just been ruined by like ruinous people using it, you know? It's been worn out, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that kind of happens to any all good terms. You know, eventually
Yeah.
they'll reach the mainstream. And
Yeah. I've started saying beast recently.
in what kind? Like I'm a beast.
I mean, yeah, sometimes, but mostly it's like, you know, someone's like, you know, yeah, man, like I fucking did good on my exam. I'm like, that's beast. You know?
Did you was that like a product of your mind, or did you hear that somewhere? You're like,
Yeah,
that's
it was
just
a product of
cool.
my mind rather than my environment. I don't know.
Dope.
I know it's like not an original thing, but like no one around me was saying it. I'm saying,
Yeah, I
you know?
mean that
I just started
nothing's
saying it for no
nothing's an
reason.
original thing, is it?
Yeah. One of my friends at college would always say, that's not cool, man. He'd always say, hey, not cool, man.
Like just in general.
Like as a response to something that's like not cool, you know?
Oh, that's just like a that's
Like,
just a thing. That
No,
people
but
say.
no, he'd do it in a
I had
very,
one friend
like,
that would say hello to me when we saw each other.
no, but he'd say it like on the regular, you know? He'd just go, hey, not cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
man. It's like
Yeah.
it's based.
You ever see the video where like the woman's explaining like it's like a TikTok, you know, and she's saying like, here's how I protect myself as a single woman living at alone. So here's how, you know, I protect myself from like burglars and, you know, muggers and etc. You know, and she's like, I put 3 pairs of size 12 men's shoes on the front porch. You know, I I have like a dog who I keep in a cage so he rattles it and any intruders would hear it and get scared off. And I have a Shaolin monk that I've hired to fucking patrol the halls and, you know, stop any intruder. And I have a drone with facial recognition technology to fucking see if any intruders are there and then alert the monk. You know? You ever see that one?
I have not. I don't really use TikTok anymore. Sounds
Okay.
like she's just reinvented the idea of the scarecrow, but for like people that are
No. And a
trying to break
Shaolin monk,
in.
dude.
That I don't wait. I don't understand a Shaolin monk one. Is that to fight somebody that
Yeah,
does
to
break
fight
in?
somebody as like a bodyguard.
Is that what monks do? I thought they were like pacifists.
Yeah, you know, he's a former Shaolin monk.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he has all the
So he has
skills of
all
a
the like
Shaolin monk,
the
but none of the
fucking
moral restrictions.
combative skills, but he can also be a bodyguard. Yeah.
Like Batman, if he
Yeah.
broke his no-kill
And then
rule.
they showed like an example of him like the drone detecting someone and him like jumping into action and he like rips his whole shirt off. You know?
The monk rips the monk's shirt off.
Yeah, he rips like his monk robe off and he just has like boxers underneath.
It's like when Superman takes off the button down
Yeah.
and unveils the suit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You never saw that one though?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
I open TikTok and my entire feed is like either videos of like edits of something or videos that are talking about it'll say like the girl in the green dress under this sound it shouldn't be allowed on the platform and I can never on none of those videos I never find what the video that they're talking about is and I've just given up. I hate it. And then there's also the ads. It'll be like the TikTok shop videos where it's not like disclosed as sponsored, but it'll be a video that's like, guys, this is the greatest necklace of all time. It's only it's only like nine quarters.
Yeah.
You know, if you got 9 quarters, buy this necklace, and then you open it, and it's like, it looks like it's made out of resin,
Yeah.
and it's like a skull on like a chain, and it looks like the worst quality thing ever, and it's like
Yeah.
$2.
Yeah. No, I've seen that.
I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it so fucking much because
You
that's like 20% of my entire feed.
you ever see the one where the 20%, wow. 20% of my entire feed is the videos where it's like me and bro videos, you know? Like
Yeah.
videos about like straight men being secretly in love with their straight best friend, you know? Where they're like, you know, me when they go to the restaurant and they say the waitress says that it's free mimosas for couples, and so I kiss him on the lips. Parentheses, I want bro more than I want the mimosas.
I get those on Instagram Reels.
Yeah,
A good
yeah.
amount, yeah.
I've never used the talk, so that's just the one I'm speaking
Oh,
from.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I love those videos. I think that's awesome. You know, I don't know.
I think they're pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's like not really true, but I think like if it was true, it would be cool, you know?
It's like the adoption by like straight guys of like the humor that is I'm in love with my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll get a video on my feed that's like send this to somebody you wanna pound and make passionate love to, and all of the comments are two straight guys sending to one another.
Yeah.
My straight friends sent this to me. Two straight guys sent from one straight guy to another straight guy. All men or whatever. Audio listeners, Spencer just pulled a paper out of their wallet inexplicably. You want to show the wankers? Audio listeners, I mean, you describe it, I guess. What am I looking
a
at?
black and white photograph of David Lynch smoking a cigarette.
And you just have that folded up in your wallet?
I need him to be with me at all times.
Isn't that also on the case that you showed me earlier?
Yeah.
Let's see what I got in my wallet. Audio listeners, on screen right now is the hardest wallet of all time.
It's like American.
It's got
you want to end
the American flag and the eagle. In 1 second, check this shit out.
Yeah.
Certified man card.
Oh.
See ya.